Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're getting a little bit of a late start here for our afternoon masterclass, but I wanted to share with everybody that we have a masterclass this afternoon with some friends from around the world, and my hair is still growing. It's still Corona fantastic. So let's see who we have that joined. Hey, there's Frank. Hey, Frank, great to Hey, Allison, how are you?
Good.
Hey, great to see you. Sorry I'm late. I was giving a recital on online, so I had kind of a free recital I was giving for to benefit the Mount Sinai hospital workers. So it was kind of a little tribute I could do for one of my friends who's in Mount Sinai who's got coronavirus right now. So, just yeah, whatever we can do to lift their spirits, right?
Definitely.
So, you're playing the glass bead game today?
Yeah.
Excellent. Let me just pull that up. Make sure I have that in front of me. I should have it in an open window. Do you want to play a few notes? Tell me where you're from.
From Frisco, Texas.
Frisco, Texas. Do you study
Yeah.
with Haley?
With no, I studied with Karen Houghton.
Okay. Have you ever? Haley Hoops is one of my good friends. I love Haley.
I've met her before, yeah.
Yeah, if you get around to taking a lesson with her, are you in school? Do you know Shelby Peebus?
No, I actually go to school at University of Alabama.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, I've got it pulled up here. And fantastic. is that a good spot to stop?
Sure.
Would you? Bravo! Excellent job. Excellent. So, how long have you been working on this piece?
Seriously working on it probably about 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. So it's a pretty good start. So where do you feel like? What would you like me to help you with this?
I guess for the slow part, smoothness moving through the notes since most of it's slurred, and I'm using a new style of articulation than I used to, that's closer to the back of the teeth than the top of the soft palate. So I was wondering how that was coming across in the fast sections.
I didn't notice your articulation much. For me, I don't really think too much about the articulation. Just like I don't think about how I'm enunciating my words. I just think about what I want to say and who I'm saying it to and how far they're at. So if we speak with a really clear articulation, it's like I'm talking like this, right? It's just not so natural. So what I want you to get away from is thinking about articulations. Like, yeah, of course, practice them. But for me, my biggest thing is like, okay, I've got the skill of the articulation. Now let's forget it. Like when I'm doing this, I'm just thinking about what do I want to say and how can I, prepare, right? So this opening phrase, they're calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like Copeland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about this. Think about this instead of like a horn concerto. Think about this as like Appalachian Spring. And let's think about it. Where are we going to? Which note do you feel like is the most important note? Where do you feel like this the highest point of the phrase might be?
The most energetic part of the phrase is in the 3/8, so leading up to that and then away.
Well, let's think about, we've got the dynamics marked mezzo forte and then mezzo piano and then mezzo forte. Let's go to the bar after the 3/8. Because we could go. Or is it? I like to go to that lower E flat, right? Even though it's not a high note in the phrase, it seems like a really interesting point of arrival. So let's start by thinking musically. Always fix technical problems with musical solutions, right? So let's, first and foremost, let's sing this. Have you sung it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, shall we do that?
Well, from the beginning?
Yes. Good, good. So, did you notice when you had a point of direction when you're singing, you didn't really think about some of the smaller intervals, the 3/8, the 16 notes. They weren't so important, right? They were kind of more passing tones along the way, and they were highlighting the way to that concert A flat. So, would you now play and imagine you're singing? So for me, that was much more smooth, right? So you kind of fixed your own problems just by thinking musically. Now, that opening slur, it's a fifth. So it's about timing your fingers. When does your finger come off the paddle? And then when do you adjust the lips to go up there? So we can, it's just a matter of coordination, right? Can you do that on half of? Good. Now do it on open first valve. Good. And everything in the mouthpiece is going to be relaxed, and you're just simply going to close the mouth a little bit. Just say, and then your tongue is going to go from this sort of position to this sort of position. So you're going to say, O-E, O-E. Okay, can you try that?
Saying it or playing it?
Okay, so do it normally. Good. Now do it in context. Ta-ta-e-dee. So to-e-dee. Think that with your tongue. Again. So, and just make sure you time when you come off the paddle. Ta-ta-ha-da. Okay. So again, use that lower note as a springboard, like a diving board. Jump off of it to the upper note. Yeah, there it is. Good. Do you hear the difference? Yeah, that really helps. So now let's talk about some of these passages, the faster passages. So where it starts to get a little faster, I would encourage you to just try to buzz that on your mouthpiece. Hannon asks, what is this piece? And this piece is the glass bead game. So we're going to want to do a siren to go through those notes and to get the air to move with the lips and the fingers. So we're going to start after C, third bar after C. Just buzz from the B flat to the A flat as a siren. Great. And we want it almost like a crescendo with our air as we're going up. Good. Now let's just add the fingers to that. Good, good, good. And this, go ahead, put the mouthpiece in the horn and try the exact same thing. Great. So now you're supercharged, right? Your air is behind every note. So next thing I want to look at is some of these passages. Sorry, I'm looking off the computer screen here, but you see where it is. So this, it's important to keep this light and then have places where we're accenting. So I would think of maybe like accenting kind of downbeats. So there was a little bit of a compression with the the internet connection. So all of a sudden, like you went like twice as fast through the third bar. It sounded super impressive. So I don't know. I think that was just the Wi-Fi, but let's keep moving, just in case. There was one section down here where it was right at 111, and some of these mixed meters, um, it's just important to feel the big beat. So after G. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, da 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 D. I always think of the big beat and think of about landing on the downbeat. Try it. Sorry, I'm butchering your piece. This is my first time reading through this, so let's go at G and really keep the big beat in tempo in mind. So it was good up until the dotted half note that was tied in bar 99, I believe, or 90. Sorry, 97. And there it started to lose tempo. Like we made room, we made an excuse for our breathing, right? So we made some time. We're like, oh, I need to breathe here. So the time kind of stopped. And so we have to breathe in time within the tempo. Hugo's online. So when you do this, so I felt like the quadruplets need to be a little faster. Let's just say triple it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just so you kind of get a feel going back and forth between the 4 and then the 2 or 3, excuse me.
Triple it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, triple it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So just that's how I practice that, just going back and forth between, and I make sure I have a metronome on, so it kind of helps keep me honest, just with the downbeats. There's one last passage at 111. Could you try that? On that, let's think of those. They're obviously every 3 mark, right? Da 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 ti da 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 ti. So if you think of it like the articulation is part of that slur, ta 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 ti. So it'll kind of help keep the air moving. Hey, Pasquale. And that's one where I would slow down and really hear the pitches, so I would sing it. Just get those pitches in your ear if you don't mind singing. Good, good. And really keep the air moving like you were whistling it. We just want to keep that airstream, like just sail on that airstream. Go ahead, give that a try there. Yeah, bravo, 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 bravo. That's awesome. So you made some really nice progress today. Just figuring out how to make those slurs smoother, figuring out direction, and then also figuring out how to kind of blow through some of those trickier passages. So, and just hearing some of those weird intervals. So really nice work, and we're going to move on to our next student.
Thank you.
Thank you. So our next student will be Guy. Let's see if we have Guy on here. Guy. And Guy is Guy Cooper. He's not my brother. He's maybe my long lost cousin, but yeah, he's another Cooper. So I figured it'd be awesome to have Guy as a one Cooper to another. Okay, we're waiting for Guy to go live here. Let's see. Double check accidentals. They can save your interval jumps. Thank you, Justin. Let's see. The Hornets. David, thank you for thanks for doing this. You've been amazing. Thank you, the Hornets 26. I really appreciate it. It's great to see you here. I love helping out. I love talking about the horn. So all of that is you know, really fun stuff for me, and I love sharing that with everybody. Let's see. Who else do we have on here? Blaze Orman, F horn. Hey, Blaze Orman. VC Viola. Let's see. Bruna. Freitas. Okay, let's see if we have Guy. We'll try to add Guy again. You know, sometimes us Coopers have trouble adding ourselves to Instagram chats. I know. Person, Guy, there you are.
Wow.
Hey, what's going
on? What's going on?
Does anyone call you Coop?
No, not really. I'm
no?
Guy, so.
You're Guy? Okay, all right. Well, sometimes I get called Coop, so that's the only reason I asked. We've got another David Cooper who works at the Chicago Symphony, and he's a stagehand. So every time I see him, I say, Coop, and he goes, Coop. It's crazy. It's kind of fun. So,
yeah.
Hey, so anyways, let's start with Mozart. Was that correct? You were going to do Mozart 4
Mozart
or 2?
4.
Okay, 4.
All right.
All right, bravo, excellent. Let's stop there. So, Guy, what grade are you in high school?
I'm going into 9th grade next year.
You're going into 9th grade, man. Okay, so you've got a really good start on the horn. So I think you could. Do you want to make this a career eventually? Do you want to be a professional horn player?
No question. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. So for me, one of the things that I wish someone would have said, first of all, you've got a great high register. You can really play the horn. Your articulations are great, and you've got a really great start on this piece. So looking at this piece, I would love it if, like, just for the time being, the tempo isn't necessarily my biggest, that's not what wins the race. It's not what wins the prize, right? So being able to play it up to tempo, that should be like kind of like one of our third or fourth goals. The first goal should be number one, just having a really nice sound, and number two, I would say like really having great music, right? So I see you love Star Wars. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, what do you like about Star Wars?
Like I'm a big lore guy. I really like deep into the story. I
Well,
love
let me
the
tell you
original
what.
trilogy. I love I'm one of those special edition haters.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you're a purist, right? Which is perfect
Yes.
for classical music and for Mozart. And, also you love the story, which is perfect for Mozart. So this for me is all about story, right? So we can come up with whatever story we want about this, but we have to say something. So, once upon a time in a far off land, dee da dee dun 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 dun. There was a galaxy, and then it goes on to describe the galaxy. Now it talks about the time, right? Like when the credits are rolling down, like dum da 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 da, right?
Yeah.
And then the theme rolls in. So here, this is now where we're starting to get involved with who the characters are, where it's taking place, and what they're doing. Do you remember that opening scene in the first Star Wars? Maybe it's not the opening scene, but it's this desert, and there's the sun going down, right? And then
Yeah.
they're at the well, and they're looking at the sun. They're like the multiple suns or the multiple moons.
Double Sun. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I want you to imagine that's the beginning of your story, and then all of a sudden we've got this farm boy, and he's got these magical powers that we don't quite know about yet. Simple, right? But he's living with his parents. Where does his uncles? Where does actual parents go? And he's going off and he finds these droids, right? So now let's play this opening phrase and let's think about that in terms of like a Star Wars type story.
Okay.
Okay. And let's play a tiny bit slower.
Okay.
Okay. Good, good. Let me just show you something. So when you do this, it happens twice. Dee da 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 dee da da. So the second time it happens, we want to do it different. Like we don't want to see, use the force. We don't want to have it said the exact same way. Use the force, right? We want to have more excitement the second time we say it, right? Because now it's a catchphrase. Go ahead. So maybe a little louder for the second time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, next, let's keep moving. And so now I want you to think about three different hills, right? So we're climbing three different hills. The first one is going to be kind of a nice small round hill. Second one is going to be a little bit bigger, and then it's going to go a little bit deeper. And then we're going to climb ever so much more to get out of that last one. And when we get to the top of the last one, we're going to roll down that last hill, like sled down that last hill, okay? And so you'll keep us moving through that, okay? So let's start 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! All right, man. gets so much better for me. I mean, it's easier, it's more fun to listen to, and it's got story now, it's got shape, it's got accuracy. It's not so fast, right? But remember, tempo is down the road. That's like third or fourth goal. Our first goal is, number one, tone, right? On every note, we have a great tone on every note. Secondly, we have to have a really great story, like really great music, right? Like you wouldn't watch Star Wars if like it was just some guy in a Land Cruiser with some lightsabers, right? They've got to be doing something like saving the Empire. So I think it's a really good place for us to kind of stop. I would love to go through the rest of this with you. I'll just demonstrate what I would like on this. And I will, I'd gladly love to hear you play this again down the road. So like when we keep going, right, we want these little, I'm going to record this so you can watch this again. So we want little bells on the next notes. Dum, bum, bum, and it's like we're looking inside of a box here, and we get to see this treasure. And then here, this is us laughing, right? We've got a secret. Ha 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 da dee da da dee da da. And think about that, like that warm sun coming out from the clouds. Da da dee da dee da dee da. Question? Da 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 bum 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 bum. Answer. And then first statement. Da 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 da. A little bit more. Second statement. Da 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 da. Third statement, more confident. Da 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 da. Surprise. But sun comes up. Dee da dee da dee da da. Here we're the backup. We're the backup singers, like in the band, because the melody is in the piano, right? Dee da 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 dee da dee, and we're da 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 dee da da, and then dee da 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 dee da da, da 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 dee da da, da 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 da. So now we're getting ready to tell the story, and it's getting to the end with the drama, right? We're getting to know the characters, who Luke's father is, right? Da ya dee da dee dum bum ba ya dee da dee. In conclusion, ba da dee, and we arrive there. Okay, so this is kind of my favorite, like one of my favorite concerti. I love playing this, just because it's drama, and it's like it's so much fun to work on this and as a story. The story is still the same, right? It might be 300 years later, but like, I mean, it's still a great story. I mean, how many years later is Star Wars and you still love it? It's like 40 years after that movie. Like, I mean, what, right? So the story's still good. It still remains, even though there aren't maybe the same special effects and the same everything. So remember, story is story.
Fun fact, today's the 40th year anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy smokes, man. So what should we play?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thanks, man. Great to see you. Great to meet you. A fellow Cooper, brother from another mother.
Yeah, brother from another mother.
I'll see you later, okay? Have a great day. All right, thank you.
Have a great
day. So we are going to keep going with our students. Let's see who's next. I believe we've got Lucas. Lauren's on. Lauren from New York City. Lauren!
Hi, how are
you?
you?
Man. I haven't seen you in ages. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh my gosh, man! Like you've grown. I remember like the last time I saw you was like 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah, I mean,
it's been 2 years, right? 2 years.
Yeah, great to see you. Where are you in New York City right now, or are you in
Long Island?
You're where?
Long Island right now.
Oh, Long Island. Okay. How's it going, man? Is everyone staying healthy?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Good, good. Glad to see you, man. Give me 2 seconds. Play a couple notes. I'm just gonna fill a little bit of water.
Sure.
I got a little tickle in my throat. So, yeah, play a few notes. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, go ready when you are, and I'm just gonna pull up the music here for the Strauss 2.
Sure.
I know it in my memory, but it's just for referencing, just a little quicker. I can pull it up, and then we'll have it. Let's see. Aha. Are you practicing a lot over this, the shut-in, the stay-at-home?
Well, I've tried to because last 2 weeks I injured my lips. I overplayed, so now I'm a bit down.
Oh, shoot, man. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry to hear that. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, that day I felt great, so I practiced a lot. And then the next day morning, I woke up and it just didn't feel right. So, yeah.
Oh, man. Are you, that's one thing we can talk about, if you like, is just like how to recover from a lip injury.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. No corona. I don't have corona. Just have a tickle in my throat. I think I might have eaten some granola today.
Right.
It got stuck in my throat. Okay. So let's see. We've got Strauss, horn concerto, number 2. Great. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. So when I had my lip injury, it was 2013, and it was
Mm-hmm.
after I was doing all of these auditions, and it just seemed like my lips swelled up, and it just didn't feel right afterwards. And one of the things that I did, I took some rest. Right, I think rest is really important. And then I just didn't get stressed out about it. I was like, okay, listen, like if I can't ever play the horn again, like it's scary, right? It's like the thing I love to do the most every day. But for me, like I was just like, okay, I need time to heal. So I gave myself some time to heal. And after I kind of like let myself recuperate, uh, I still didn't feel quite right. So I just kind of realized, okay, I was putting too much pressure on my upper lip, and it was causing my upper lip to swell up. And so I started kind of, I moved my mouthpiece down a tiny, tiny little bit, and then I started anchoring again on my lower lip. And that really helped me to feel more secure. And it took the swelling down, and the next day I was back to normal. But it was like a 3-week process where I was kind of like, what's going to happen? And I remember I shared with Roger Kaza, I was really scared. I was at the Marlboro Music Festival at that point, and I was just starting to be, I was going to be principal horn the fall of the Dallas Symphony.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, what if my lip doesn't work and I have to go into principal horn and I can't play my part, It's scary.
Yeah.
So, are you healing well now? Are you doing okay?
Yeah, much better.
Oh, good, good. Excellent.
Yeah.
So you're going to play the opening of Strauss 2?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it. Hey, fantastic. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Huge congrats, man.
Thank you.
So you're doing all the things that I would want you to do musically, and then some. So for me, my biggest concern right now is your breathing, and in the high register, the pitch sounds flat. So the cause of the high register being flat is number one, your airspeed isn't moving fast enough. So it's like you have this balloon that you're trying to fill up, right? And it's like if you can blow fast enough air, then this balloon will inflate. So right now it seems like the hole of the balloon is like this big, and you're trying to like, you're just not getting enough air speed into the balloon to really get the balloon to inflate. So if you have a smaller aperture, as if you were to say M, like you want to curl your lips in ever so slightly and bring them together without pinching them, without getting tense in here, right? And we also, when we go higher, we need to use the tongue up against the teeth. I don't know if you could see, this would be, like imagine these are my teeth, and this is my tongue. When I'm playing in the middle low register, I'm about here. And when I go up, my tongue all of a sudden like raises as if I'm saying E. So I'm making the oral cavity smaller. So I'm making this like oral cavity, I'm automatically, our horn can either be the horn that we have in our hands, the mouthpiece, or this whole region of oral cavity. So when we go higher, we need to close the lips a little bit and then raise the tongue and then really accelerate the air. So I think that'll help you not get so tired. And I think that'll also help you to keep the pitch a little bit higher.
Okay.
So that's my first thing. My second thing would be, so I noticed that pitch getting a little bit saggy on notes like the F, the bar before F, or before one, excuse me, and then the bar after F, those notes, those half notes. And then also when you go, so it's the written C to the written A, right? So it would be, it's our B flat to G. That sounds a little bit low for me. So again, that's where I need to close that tongue and make the mouth a little bit smaller. Now, your breathing is a little bit suspect. You're young, you're tall, you've got a large lung capacity, and I feel like you're letting yourself off the hook for your breathing. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to go as far as you can on one breath. And the reason being is that I feel like, number one, you're not filling your lungs completely, and then you're not going long enough on one phrase. And this is particularly hard to do on this piece. I generally, as a rule of thumb, breathe after every dotted quarter, right? So I wouldn't say, so I breathe between the first and the second bar of one, and then I keep going. I take a breath after that next dotted quarter, take a breath after the next dotted quarter, take a breath after the next dotted quarter, and then I take a breath 2 before 3, and then I take a breath 4 after 3. So there's a good spot to breathe. So let me just demonstrate what I want. water my horn's cold. But you get the idea where I'm supposed to breathe,
Yeah.
right? So you notice I'm breathing after almost every dotted quarter except for the between the second and first bar of 1.
Yep.
Good. So that would be something that I would love for you to incorporate. Lastly, when you start this, you took a little bit of time on the opening bar, which it wasn't quite in tempo right away. So I'm getting my tempo from you. So 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 there's where we can start to slow down and take a little bit of time. And then here, this part is a little bit more cadenza and more free. Dun 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 dun. And then here we can, do exactly what you did. I loved it. I'm starting in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bar. From the 7th bar on, I loved it. The 16th notes, the push me, pull you, that was great. But the opening half notes, I felt like you took your own tempo. So would you do this again?
Yeah.
And I want you to think again about airspeed when you're in the higher register, tongue placement, right? So just notice that the pitch is flat and correct it, basically. So faster air. And then in tempo for the first 3 bars, I would say. And then you can go a little bit more flexible. And then I would love it if you could try the new breathing. So let's try the whole thing again.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. So on this, we're having an argument, right? So I think you need to have 2 characters. One over here who's saying this, and one who's pleading, no, please, 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 sir. And then one, no, 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 no. And then it's like, no, bro, please, right? So. So we're trying. I would tell you to accelerate until we get to those that's where I would start to pull on the brakes. So we start fast and then the slow downs, and then we start again a little faster and then we slow down, and then we go all the way into it. Okay, and then here getragen, right? What does that mean?
Solemnly.
Getragen. It means carrying, right? So. That'd be like our version of a portamento, which basically just means, kind of take your time a little bit. Don't rush through it. Make the most out of that music, okay?
Right.
Could you start from bar 7?
Yeah.
Let me stop you there. So now we need to be in tempo because we're with the orchestra. So especially at this spot. but most of this stuff has to be a little bit more in tempo. And then you can really take your time. Fourth bar, fourth bar of 2. Okay, that's really where, and you can really drop the dynamic there. It's play as soft as you can. So go ahead, play from that da. Do you see where that is? That's like the 4 bars before 2. Great. Awesome. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you get to these last few notes, right, this is where I really want you to open up. I guess it might be the sound quality of the recorder, but for me, I can always improve on my loud register, right? So I can always improve my loud dynamics. So I would suggest, and this is what I do long tones every day, right? And I feel like it's really important to go from as soft as you can to as loud as you can and back to as soft as you can on one breath. So the reason for that is that we're expanding our parameters, and we're also working on how there's a point where our sound goes from beautiful to crass, right? But that point, you can take that point and make that actually bigger. You can have a larger window of dynamic range before you start to get raucous. And so you know exactly where the fine line is, and you can figure out how to get into that loud dynamic. So at the end, I would love it if you could go. Right? So it's still beautiful and it's loud and it's warm. Right? So again, this is where you can have your mouth really wide open and you keep your body as relaxed as possible and you tension free, right? Because tension kills sound. So let's do that one more time, just from 4 before 5, those 8 notes. And really see if you can get your neck nice and long. Lift your chest here because this is your resonating capacity. You can watch some videos on Alexander Technique, on Feldenkrais, on YouTube, Feldenkrais. And these are ways that you can develop body awareness. Okay? Big breath. As much air as you can. Drop the jaw, drop the tongue, and then keep the O. This is where you can have that really round O, open oral cavity. Send the air just pushing me like I'm on a swing, okay? Bravo, man.
Thank
You
you.
sound fantastic. Man, I'm so happy to see you.
Me
Dude,
too. Yeah.
You made my day. Hey, give my best to your family, okay?
Yep, of course.
Absolutely awesome. And so we're going to move on to our next student, and then, I'll see you soon, all right? Thank you, my friend. So we've got 2 more students to get through, and we have 5 more minutes left of the chat. Maybe 4 more minutes left of this, of the Instagram Live. So when it stops, and we're going to start. We're going to do it again. We'll start another live chat. We'll just go as long as we need to to finish these students. Again, I apologize for my hair, but there are no barbers open. So yeah, I'm very yeah, Corona fro. So let's see, who do we want to go live with? Lucas Santamaria. Hey, Lucas, great to see you, my friend.
Hey, from Argentina.
Hey, where are you calling from?
My, I have delay with you. With you, listen to me?
So, Lucas, we are out of, we're running out of time in the Instagram chat. So let me end this and I'll start a new one. Could you join me on the next Instagram live?
I get Hi, listen to me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Tell me.
So Lucas, I'm gonna end this chat here. All right, and we are back with the second half of my masterclass here, and this is just a way for us to stay connected and stay involved in music and to give back to the music community and just share my joy of playing, share my joy of teaching and of music. I absolutely love doing music. So I want to say hi to Horn User. Hey, Lucas, great to see you.
One.
Yeah, Lucas, we might be having a little bit of trouble with our connection here. Can you see me?
If you can stop, I.
Okay, let's play and play whenever you're ready. Okay. Sorry, everybody. It looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here with Lucas, but yeah, I think we're gonna do as much horn master classes as we can here. We're struggling with the connection. So unfortunately, we have lost Lucas in our chat here. So I'm wondering if there's another way that we can add him. Not exactly tech savvy with this stuff. So let's go online with our friend Mark Jansen here. I'll try Lucas first, and then if not, we're gonna go online with Mark, and we'll just talk a little bit. Lucas, hey, your connection's great.
Hi. Now, a little bit.
Yes, you're perfect. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Perfect. Perfectly.
Fantastic. So go ahead and start. What are you playing today?
Mozart free. The free concert of Mozart.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Start whenever you're ready, my friend.
Okay.
Where are you coming from?
Argentina.
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 Hey, me gustaría mate.
Okay.
Mate.
Mate? Yeah. I like
love
mine.
mate, man. And Messi.
Okay. Messi and Maradona.
Yeah. Oh man. That's all the
Okay.
three great M's, right?
Okay. I start.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, they're perfect. Perfect. Can you play?
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
have with I don't know why, but
Hey, it happens. It happens, guys. It's technical difficulties.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Go
Sorry
ahead.
about that.
Whenever you're ready, my friend.
Okay, okay. Sorry. Okay. I'm not.
Great. Bravo. Excellent, man. I think you've come the farthest for any horn student I've ever taught. So I mean, yeah, you're coming all the way across the equator, and you're playing for me online. I mean, this is like just a modern marvel of science and technology. So
Yeah.
when I think about Mozart's Third Concerto, I have to think about just the humor and the joy of the person that Mozart is, right? So Mozart for me is like, um, he has that simple like joy of just being alive, of being like, how kids are simple, and kids are, they're either happy or they're sad, but they're really honest, right? And
Yeah.
that's the same honesty I hear in Mozart. So it's like Mozart for me is always going someplace, and it's very clear where it's going, and it's always clear where it's going away from, right? And these are more like operatic melodies. So I would love it if you would work on the singing character of your playing, and I think what can help that is just to know in Mozart's time, beat one is always the most important, right? So always, whenever I'm thinking Mozart, I'm always thinking 4-1, 4-1, and it's always got that swing 4-1. So all the other beats are kind of less important, but we always need to have that momentum like a pendulum. And then after we get that, then the tempo can kind of keep up. And really, where are we going? So we're definitely going to that written D sharp. da da R C sharp in the 1, 2, 3, 4th bar. Da 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 bum bum ba dum ba dum ba bum. So really, we're also going to that downbeat of the 8th bar. So if we really think about this, this is like an 8-bar phrase with 2 halves. So the first half. So we're kind of going somewhere in the middle of that 8th bar. So would you mind playing this? I don't know if it's your phone or maybe your headphones. It sounds like a bit like kind of over, like everything sounds a little bit loud on our recording. And so I know that's not you. I think it's your headphones maybe picking you up. Would you be able to play that without the headphones on, or turn your headphones off maybe, and then we can try it again?
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you turn the headphones off, that might help us a little bit.
Hi.
Just great. I
Okay.
can hear you so much better now. So let's give it
Okay,
one more.
okay. Perfect.
Let's give you one more try. And like, what I want to hear you do is when you get to the F, you know, da dee da da, give a crescendo. Always going somewhere or coming away from, going to
Okay.
or coming back. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're gonna ultimately go dum bum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. This is your German drinking song, right? You've got
Okay.
your beard style.
Yeah, yeah.
Yum
Yeah.
dum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Go ahead, give one more try.
Okay.
So what I hear now is just this suave, elegant, like this, you know, it's like that cool Argentine vibe, you know, that suaveness that you guys all have. Well, I can say that because my best friend is Argentine, and he's from La Pampa. He's a gaucho, but you know, it's just man, everything's cool, everything's easy, and it's like this kind of confident. You know, I really love what you bring to this. Now let's figure out what you want to say. So everyone's got their own kind of personality, their own flair that they bring to Mozart, which means this is going to be a different piece every time a different horn player plays. So, so let's think about the drama, right? Where, like, in this next line, are we kind of increasing? These are questions, right? And then here, maybe this is the answer. Da da dee da dee da da. And then here, another question. Okay. Dun 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 da 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 da. And then here, now it's a new idea. Okay, but I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna see this person, and here's why. Dun 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 dee da da. Dun, 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 dun. And this is the last statement. Yes, did you check this out? Da, 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 dee, da, dee, dee, da, da, da. So go.
Okay.
Would you start from bar 40 for me? And really give me direction. Go either going to or coming away, and bring out beats 1. Always beat 1 is the most important. Okay.
Okay. I start E flat.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Fantastic. So that's, for me, it's so much more interesting. There's one thing that you went to the middle of the 3rd bar. And I think that's kind of you know, it's a trap we fall into sometimes. I kind of like going to that note a little bit better. Would you just try the opening 3 bars of this phrase and go to the 3rd bar?
Okay. Open. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's so much better when you go to beat 1 because it kind of helps us feel the rhythm a bit more. And then do this da dee da dee da dee da dee dee da 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 da. That's the most beautiful sound you can make.
Okay.
Again, let's go to beat 1. You know, so Mozart, he's playing a joke on his friend. He's playing a joke on his simple-witted horn player friend. And so, you know, if you were to just hear the music, it should go. But in classical music, the joke is there's never a strong 4th beat, right? And so that's the joke that he's playing on his poor horn player friend. So still to this day, we have to go. Could you do that for me?
Okay. Yeah.
Give me the downbeat of that 2nd bar. Yada dee da da. One more time. Good. Now take out the accent in the middle. Just do only the first beats. Yada dee da 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 dee da dee da dee da da.
Okay, okay.
Good. Now do it just a tiny bit, just a little bit, not overdone, okay?
Okay.
Pochissimo, pochissimo.
Pochissimo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good, good. That's the right idea. And on some of these scales, what helps me is if I think light articulation. So I'm thinking like a do tongue, or do, a really light articulation on those.
Okay.
Would you just try that scale?
Okay.
Good, keep going. Good, good, good. Excellent. So when you go up that phrase, you're separating those notes. Dum, bum, bum. And I think they should always be connected as if it was a human voice. Da, ya, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, ya, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, da, dee, ya, 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 ba, da, da.
Okay.
Right? So we're always imitating the voice, not the other way around, right?
Okay. And one question. Where I breath in there?
If I was going to breathe,
Breathe.
I don't breathe, so,
No?
but I would go. I don't know.
No.
You could sneak a breath there between beats 2 and 3, but my suggestion to you would be just take a really big breath, okay? Do it on one breath.
Okay.
You're young, you're tall, you're athletic, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead. One last time. Okay, long. Da, dee, da, 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 dee. Bravo. Nice job, man. Excellent.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well played.
Thanks.
It's such a pleasure to meet
Thanks a
you.
lot.
It's such a pleasure to hear you. I hope you have a wonderful.
My pleasure.
I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you stay healthy and safe and everything. So keep up the good work, my friends. Okay.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have one last student. We have Anita. Let's see if Anita is on. Anita, let's see. Anita! Anita messaged me last night. She asked to be part of the Masterclass. So we are just waiting for Anita to join us. Hey, Anita, how are you?
Hi, fine.
Hey, great. Where are you calling from? Where are you joining us from?
I'm calling you from Bolivia.
Hey, awesome. Welcome. So it's great to have you here, and it's great to hear you're playing. You're going to play the Glier, is that correct?
Papi.
What did you want to play? Sorry, we're having technical difficulties, everybody. It happens. So in times like this, I can tell you a quick story about playing some of these concertos. So there was one time, I'm not going to mention where, I was just telling a story. Your screen froze, so I can finish the story really quick. There was a time where I was playing a concerto, and I thought, for the life of me, it was Strauss 2. So Strauss 2 was going to be the concerto that I was playing. So I worked on Strauss 2. I memorized Strauss 2, learned it, played it through the pianist a bunch of times. And then I'm getting ready to look at my plane ticket. And I looked at my plane ticket, and I looked at my, my travel and my agreement, and I realized I'm not playing Strauss 2. I'm playing Strauss 1. So I had a day to learn Strauss 1. So that was one of my stories from traveling. So every time you play a Strauss concerto, make sure to ask, is it Strauss 1 or 2? Don't just assume it's, Strauss 1 or Strauss 2. It's one of those things that could easily happen. Luckily for me, I know Strauss 1 really, really well, and I just performed it. So I was able to dust it off really quick and play it. Okay, so Anita, we're struggling with the Wi-Fi connection. Is there a chance, are you on cellular or are you on Wi-Fi? Aha, I see you. I see you clearly. Yay, good. So Anita, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and start playing. And we'll gladly hear you there. So everybody, I like to do a lot of singing when I play because singing is the most natural form of musical expression. Singing is a way for me to communicate what's in my heart and what's in my head and to get natural musical expression. Anita, you with us? Oh man, lost Anita there. So sometimes, different places have different connections with Wi-Fi, and I know we're all stuck staying at home. Sometimes there's a lot of people on the bandwidth. Sometimes there's a lot of people that are having a hard time, getting connected. So at this time, it's just, we're going to be patient, right? And try to help everybody out and try to, hey, there you are. Fantastic. What would you like to play?
Hi.
Go ahead and play whenever you're ready. Okay, we're ready for you. Yeah. You're good. I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Yay! Bravo, Anita. Excellent job. So, when I think about this opening of the Glier Concerto, I really have to think about, okay, for me, a low A is not a comfortable note. So when I come in on that low A, I have to really anchor, and I almost like take my tongue on my lip and I pull it away, and it's like just articulating that low note for me is the challenge. So Anita's internet isn't working so well right now, but I can talk to Anita, and I heard Anita play. So the nice thing is that Anita's got a really nice embouchure. She's got really great control of the horn and all the registers, and for her, it's just a matter of just for all of us, or for me, I'll just take it for me. Whenever I work on a piece, I always have to figure out, all right, I've got these square edges, like a block of marble, and I'm just kind of chiseling away and sanding away at these edges until I make a really nice, beautiful round sound on every note. The opening of the Glier Concerto is like a cadenza, so we can take our time, and I think of it as kind of 5 individual calls. Now, here's the second call. The second call is there, and then here's the third call, and the fourth call, and the fifth call, even more persistent. So I'm setting up this, ultimately I'm drawing out as much tension and drama as I can before I get to the actual theme. So this is our romantic horn concerto. This is like our Tchaikovsky violin concerto. So
Okay.
when we go through this theme, as much as possible, what we want to do is we want to try to see if we can make it as beautiful as possible, as golden as possible, and just have everything really nice and beautiful. And also, hey, bravo, excellent job. You sound fantastic. So I'm sorry, technology sometimes actually is tough, but we're making the most out of it. Did you hear anything I said about the opening calls?
Yeah, I hear. Because so
So there are the five calls that we start a little bit slower, and then each one of them is getting more persistent. So if you want to just try that. And really savor that E. So we're going to the D, right? Ultimately, all those calls are going to that last D that we just played. So go ahead and just try the opening again before the theme. Good, good, good. So when you play, make sure that you don't let the horn get away from you, right? So what I mean is I want you to imagine the most beautiful, warm, round sound concept that you can possibly come up with, right? It's like this golden color with a sheen and a shimmer over it. And when you play, always be thinking in that color, right? Don't just let the horn play itself. Because if we let the horn play itself, it'll sound really brassy. You know, it'll sound. Right? So I'm playing everything correctly, but it doesn't have that beautiful sound that the sound can have. So go ahead and give it one more try and really see if you can keep your air like you're breathing hot air and a little bit more round in your oral cavity and fill up the four corners when you breathe, okay? Awesome, awesome. So much better. Okay, now this is your big moment. This is the theme. Dum, dum, buddy, dum. So really snap those and keep it really strict in time. This is like kind of like a march. It's almost like a heroic fanfare, okay? I'm so impressed with you. I really think, I mean, you have this memorized, right? Yeah. Uh, do you study in Bolivia or did you study in Europe or who's your teacher?
My teacher, uh, my teacher is uh, she does.
Well, tell them they're doing a really good job, and tell them I'm really impressed. And I'm really happy to work with you and to hear you. I think you're playing really beautifully. I wish we had more time to work together, but I'll tell you what. Would you send me a video of this? Make a video on your phone. Send it to me in a direct message. I'll write you some comments and just kind of my thoughts on your playing. But it's really nice to meet you. Really nice to hear you. And again, bravo, bravo, bravo. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Everybody, thanks for joining. Thank you again. And I look forward to the next time I hear you play. See you. And thank you all for this wonderful masterclass. It's been excellent to spend my Wednesday with you guys. I just love talking about the horn. I love talking about music, and I'm so glad that y'all are here. So again, the Glier Concerto is one of my favorites, and I always love talking about that. Hey, Mark, what's going on?
What's the haps, Big Coop?
Hey, man, how are you doing?
Great.
Excellent. Yeah.
What? Cling. So that's Cling 2, right?
That's Cling 2. Yes. So I just have to back up and say Mark is one of my dearest friends, one of my oldest friends, and he's from Dallas, Texas, originally Austin, but Mark's just one of my close friends from Dallas. And just to hear you play like that, you studied with me for a while, and you studied with Bill Vermeulen, Dale Clevenger, and just like, you know, hearing how far you've come, man, on the horn, it's just, it just rocks my world, man. I'm so
Dude,
proud.
I'm pulling out those technical easy things for all these young folks. Pull out that Koprash, pull out that Kling book, pull out Stanley. Get deep with it, man.
That's awesome, man. Dude, it's so great to see you, brother. Hey, let's talk soon.
Love you, buddy.
I love you too. I'll see you soon. Dang. On that note, we'll end. See you later, pal. Thank you all.